Here we go, another clock. There's an awesome tube clock here using Numitron tubes. These tubes sometimes get referred to as Nixies. Well, let's straighten that out. Most of you know, watching this, probably know what a Nixie tube is. Alright, it's this in my hand here. You got 10 preformed elements with a neon gas inside. Works on a different principle than what the Numitron tube does. Numitron tube is a 7-segment incandescent light bulb filament, in other words. Okay, not to be confused with a Nixie tube. And there's also vacuum fluorescent display, or VFD tube, and they have phosphor coated 7 segments. Okay, this is yet a different principle. Back to this clock here. For lack of a better name, we're going to call this the Richard White clock. Richard White designed this board. A Numa clock, I think he called it. And he's just a hobbyist that made this board based off an old schematic that was published in Radio Electronics, 1976. And there was a request and demand, and he ran a batch of these boards and sold them as kits. 190 of them were out there back in the 2005 time frame. However long to take them to have them sold out. He's not making any more. The clock chip used in this, MM5314N, it's getting a little hard to get these days, and I think that's the bulk of the reason that he's not going to pop out anymore, as well as these tubes, which these tubes do come up from time to time, quite often on eBay. So, this, as I mentioned, Radio Electronics featured the schematic that this here clock's based off of. An individual named Charles Carangella, along with Michael S. Robbins, worked together. Turned out a few things back in the mid-70s, one of which was the first Numitron clock to buy as a kit. CEI was a company that they named it, Charles Carangella, I'm sorry. And so this circuit's largely based on that one. Radio Electronics, 1976, I forget which month. Since then, an individual, another hobbyist, Sal Brzindi, I think if I'm pronouncing his name right, made a modification to that circuit. Tube dimming using an LM317, which this board is pretty cool. It's set up, it can accept the LM317 if you want to go that route, or the original design, which just used a chain of diodes to drop the voltage to the tubes to control the brightness, to make the tubes last a little longer. So the original design used a diode dropping chain. So Brzindi came along and modified the circuit, LM317, adjustable with a pot. You can change brightness to your desired amount. So yeah, so this board is set up to go both ways there. And other features this board has are jumpers for various options that this clock chip has. This clock chip will run 50 or 60 Hertz. You can remove this jumper and you'll be at 50 Hertz. Up here is a 24-hour jumper. So this is set up for 12 hours. Remove the jumper and then you're 24 hours. Over here is another jumper, and with that in is the tubes at very conservative full brightness. Remove that jumper and there'll be a very dim glow, which probably at that rate, leaving that jumper out, the tubes will last forever. So pretty cool layout. This board, made by Richard White, takes in account all the different features and stuff of the chip. You notice the gazillion diodes. Actually, it's 7 for each tube. Okay, that's to prevent back circuiting, as this is a multiplex circuit, and incandescent display tubes will conduct in both directions. So when multiplexing, the diodes are needed to prevent back circuiting or cross glowing. And your transistor switches over here, one for each segment to turn the segments on and off, and one for each digit to strobe the digits on and off. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. A few little switches mounted here, slow and fast set, and we got another switch to hold the seconds if you wanted to sync it to overclock, what have you. That's a rundown of what I call a Richard White Numitron clock from 2005, or the Numi clock, and hope you enjoy.